Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors took a chance on Kuminga's potential, but it backfired, leaving them in a current bind where they will likely have to invest again in the young forward to have another opportunity to trade him for something of value. Christopher Klein of Fansided recently proposed a trade that would send Kuminga to the Sacramento Kings, allowing him the opportunity to be a number one option on a team that needs it. Sacramento Kings receive Jonathan Kuminga. Golden State Warriors receive Malik Monk, Dario Saric, SAC 2030 first-round pick. The reported offer from Sacramento in Malik Monk, and matching salary, and a 2030 first-round pick. That feels like a no-brainer for the Dubs. Monk is a better player and he'd bring more life to the second unit, wrote Klein. Golden State still lacks perimeter shot-making aside from Steph, and Monk can create his own offense in bursts. He has also developed into a functional point guard with a far more wide-ranging skill set than he possessed coming out of Kentucky. Monk's work ethic and developmental arc deserve serious praise. Malik Monk, runner-up for the 6th Man of the Year award in the 2023-24 season, would provide a valuable scoring punch off the bench for Golden State. The Warriors can't be relying on a 37-year-old Steph Curry to play 40 minutes a game every night, and having the former Kentucky standout spell their franchise legend would be a perfect solution to Curry's minutes on the bench. Golden State needs to be proactive when it comes to the current Kuminga situation, and recoup some value before they risk losing him for nothing in the summer of 2026. Warriors' Jonathan Kuminga really wants to play for Kings. Jonathan Kuminga has made it clear he has no desire to return to the Warriors. Per Ashish Mathur of Dallas Hoops Journal, NBA sources say Kuminga really wants to play for the Kings and has zero interest in suiting up for Golden State again. Sacramento has already made a push. The Kings reportedly offered Malik Monk and a protected 2030 first-round pick in a sign-and-trade for Kuminga. They also told the 22-year-old forward and his agent, Aaron Turner, that they'd be willing to hand him a 3-year, $63 million contract with a player option in year 3. The Warriors, however, aren't biting. Last week, Golden State countered with a 3-year, $75.2 million deal of their own, but with a team option, not a player option. Kuminga turned that down, September 14, 25. His camp then presented a 3-year, $82 million proposal with the player option included, but GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. rejected it. Part of the tension stems from Kuminga's relationship with Warriors coach Steve Kerr, which multiple reports have described as rocky. By contrast, the Kings have told Kuminga they view him as a future All-Star and high-usage forward under head coach Doug Christie, something that strongly appeals to him. Kuminga averaged 15.3 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists in 47 games last season, though he played sparingly in the playoffs unless injuries forced Kerr's hand. The former number 7 overall pick has until October 1 to sign his $7.9 million qualifying offer. If he does, he'll hold a no-trade clause for this season and hit unrestricted free agency next summer, when multiple teams will have cap space to pursue him. One key change can end Warriors' standoff with Jonathan Kuminga. After months of tough negotiations, it would appear that the Golden State Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga are nearing an agreement. Kuminga has been steadfast in his refusal to sign a contract containing a team option on the final year. Instead, the former lottery pick wants a player option, which in turn gives him some additional control over his long-term future. According to ESPN's Anthony Slater, Kuminga would be willing to sign the current deal on the table if the Warriors turn the team option into a player option. I actually talked to Aaron Turner, Jonathan Kuminga's agent, this morning, and the messaging they're adopting this week is simple: turn the team option into a player option, and the deal is done, Slater said on a September 16 episode of NBA Today. The 3-year contract on the table is worth around $74 million, and if the third year becomes a player option, Kuminga will not only sign it but also fully buy into the team's mission. It's common practice for players to have an option at the end of their deal. In doing so, they can control their own destiny and maximize their earning potential. Kuminga clearly doesn't want to continue being at the whim of an organization that has struggled to maximize his potential since drafting him in 2021. Warriors have been unwilling to budge on a team option. In a recent report from ESPN's Shams Charania and Slater, it was noted that Golden State has been unwilling to budge from including a team option in the last 2 contract offers made to Kuminga. The Warriors have strengthened their effort. Late last week, Dunleavy offered Kuminga a 3-year, $75.2 million deal with a team option in the 3rd season, sources told ESPN, Charania, and Slater reported. Their unwillingness to budge on the team option in those specific 2 offers is a major part of the holdup. The only non-team option offer the Warriors have made to Kuminga is 3 years and $54 million fully guaranteed, sources said, an average of $18 million per season. The 2025-26 NBA season is fast approaching. Finally, there appears to be a path forward for both Kuminga and Golden State. If Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Joe Lacob are willing to make the small concession in negotiations, the saga could quickly draw to a close. And, in truth, a player option doesn't change the future outlook for Kuminga too much. The Warriors could still trade him before the final year of his deal. Therefore, it's hard to envision an agreement not being made in the coming days. Maybe then, the Warriors can finally begin to ramp up their preseason preparations. Warriors stars push for clarity as Kuminga holdout drags on. With training camp approaching at the end of the month, the Jonathan Kuminga saga remains unresolved, hampering the Golden State Warriors' ability to make other roster moves. The drawn-out process has benefited no one. According to Dalton Johnson, Warriors stars Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green have already reached out to Kuminga. Butler has even contacted the front office directly, seeking clarity on the team's plans. For Golden State's veterans, the concern is understandable. Kuminga's contract standoff has left teammates, the front office, and potential free agents uncertain about what next season will look like. Veterans such as Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton, who were expected to sign by now, remain in limbo. Neither the Warriors nor Kuminga appear willing to give ground. Golden State is pushing for a contract extension that would make the 22-year-old forward easier to trade. Kuminga, meanwhile, wants a path to free agency if he isn't part of the team's long-term plans. The Warriors have already turned down trade packages from the Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns, unhappy with the returns offered. At the same time, Kuminga has rejected every extension proposal so far, including a 1-year $7.9 million qualifying offer, a 2-year $45 million extension, and a 3-year $75.2 million deal. It remains to be seen whether Kuminga will sign the qualifying offer, which would make him an unrestricted free agent in 2026. But for now, his stance is clear: no long-term commitment to Golden State. With opening night approaching, the Warriors are under increasing pressure to resolve the impasse before it creates even more problems inside the locker room. Jimmy Butler questions Warriors after Jonathan Kuminga news. Ahead of the 2025 NBA trade deadline, the Golden State Warriors acquired Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat. Immediately after landing Butler, the Warriors established themselves as legitimate title contenders, and they are a team to keep an eye on next season. Though they have a good outlook for next season, the Warriors still have a lot of questions to answer, mostly regarding Jonathan Kuminga, who remains a free agent. As it stands, the Congo native's future in Golden State is up in the air, and it remains to be seen what will happen before the start of next season. However, according to ESPN's Tim McMahon on a recent episode of the Hoop Collective podcast, Kuminga is miserable in Golden State and does not want to stay with the team, September 14, 25. He's miserable, he doesn't want to be in Golden State, McMahon said about Kuminga. He knows they don't want him. He doesn't want to maximize his earnings, he wants to get in a situation where he feels like he can thrive. Whether you agree or disagree about his ability, his talent, he wants to go find out. He's effed around long enough, now he wants to find out. Following McMahon's reports, it seems that Butler is questioning the Warriors ahead of their title chase next season. Jimmy Butler has questions for Warriors ahead of next season. The 2025-26 NBA season is only about a month away, but the Warriors are still facing a lot of uncertainty. Many are hoping for the team to answer some questions and figure things out before the start of the new campaign, and according to recent reports, this includes Butler. In a recent appearance on the Dubs Talk podcast, Dalton Johnson of NBC Sports Bay Area reported that the Marquette alum wants to know what the Warriors' plan is regarding Kuminga, who he reportedly reached out to this offseason. That has to be the thoughts of, in my eyes, the three veteran stars, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler. In that ESPN article, they mentioned that Draymond and Jimmy have checked in and reached out to Jonathan Kuminga. I can confidently say that Jimmy Butler has also reached out to the team and been like, "What's going on here?" "I just wanted to know the plan," Johnson said. And of course, Steph, Draymond, Jimmy, they're in the loop, I understand that. Though there is reason to believe this could cause a rift between Butler and the Warriors, Johnson later clarified that this is not the case. Instead, the 36-year-old is still all in on Golden State, especially after receiving his 2-year, $110.9 million contract extension from the team. That's the hard part about aggregating from a podcast. It's a conversation. Steph and Draymond being in the loop has always been fair to assume. Same with Jimmy now, Johnson wrote on X, Jimmy got paid and has been all in on the Warriors. He's in the loop, and should want to know the plan. Regardless, the Warriors are still facing a difficult Kuminga situation, though it is fair to assume that they will find a solution sooner rather than later. Until then, however, many will wonder what the team has in store as they look to return to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2022.